This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone, for today's session. Please log into your Tally software, select your company, and open the books of accounts so that we can start up with the journal vouchers. Okay, so I hope if you've logged in, we can start up. All of you have logged into your TallyPrime softwares. If you have not, please do it fast and select your company. Yes, good. Are all of you ready? Can we begin? Are your companies ready? Yes. Fine. So I'll just share the screen with you so that we can start off together. Yes. I hope the screen is visible to all. So let me go to the presentation, yes, where we have the list of the entries for journal vouchers. Yes. So the last class in yesterday's session, I discussed about the journal vouchers, that they are non-cash and they are non-bank based entries, and all kinds of adjustment entries will be put up in the journal voucher, which is F7. And example of what kind I've given. Okay, that is a depreciation or appreciation of the assets. If I have to calculate the depreciation or appreciation of assets, I have to go to journal voucher. Suppose if I, as I've told you, to record the credit purchase of the assets, right? I will go for the journal voucher or the credit sale. Next is if I have to transfer funds from one partner to the other partner's capital account, I will go for journal voucher. So there are n number of entries, which those entries which don't fit into the other set of vouchers will find a place in journal voucher, including the tax payment. Okay, that is GST, it could be TDS or any kind of tax payment. We have to go for journal voucher. Okay, so we have the transactions being put up here. Okay, so the first transaction we have where furniture is depreciated by 3%, whose book value is 15,000. So I've got three practical exercises of journal vouchers. The first one says we have to calculate depreciation on furniture. Okay, and the value of depreciation is 3%, whose book value is 15,000. Now, book value you take, cost price you take, purchase cost you take, okay, carrying amount you take, all have the same meaning. So the value of the furniture is 15, on which we have to calculate the depreciation. Now, depreciation is what kind of an expense? Not, I'm not talking about in tally terms, okay, in accounting terms. How would we categorize or how would we consider depreciation as? Only an expense? What kind of an expense is a depreciation? Yes, can I have the responses for the same? What kind of an expense is depreciation? Any idea about it? Yes. Depreciation is a non-operating indirect expenditure. Okay, so it is not a routine expense which we incur in our day-to-day business operations. It is a non-routine, non-operating expenditure. Okay, so whenever there is a usually a sale of an asset, then the depreciation is calculated. Yes, because see, the value at which we purchase. I'm talking of not of all the assets. So in the usual case, we don't get the same value when we are selling. Even if it is 2 days difference or 1 day difference or a week's difference of purchase, we don't get the same value. We always get a value less than the purchase cost because of the passage of time, usage, wear and tear, etc. There are a couple of reasons due to which we don't get the same price. So that concept is called as depreciation. And as I've told you, that depreciation is a non-operating indirect expenditure. So when you're creating in the Tally software, you don't have a group as non-operating indirect expenses. If you want, you can create it. But as of now, you can consider depreciation under the group of indirect expenses. Okay, so it is considered as an expense. Okay, the depreciation ledger should be debited. Why? Because moment depreciation is declared as an expense, we consider the normal account rule, that is, debit all the expenses and losses, credit all the incomes and gains. So, what happens is we have to debit the depreciation ledger because it is an expense by nature. Okay, and on which are we calculating depreciation? We are calculating depreciation on furniture. Okay. Yes. So furniture needs to be credited. So there is no question of cash or bank coming into picture here. Okay. So all of you make sure you are in gateway of tally screen. Okay, and there you can directly go to vouchers. Under transactions you have vouchers. Press enter on vouchers. Once you press enter on vouchers, press F7. The functional key, as I've told you, for journal voucher is F7. Okay. Yes. So now we have to debit with the depreciation ledger. So what we are going to do is, we don't have the list of in the list of ledgers, we don't have that ledger. So we have to go to the create option. So we go to the create option, and yes, name is depreciation under the group of indirect expenses. Okay. Kushbu Kumari, please don't unnecessary unmute. If you have any query to ask, okay, to put up, if you have any doubts, you can unmute. Don't unnecessarily unmute, otherwise it'll disturb the session. Hope it's clear. Yeah. So it will be considered under the group of indirect expenses. Type of ledger not applicable. And please do deactivate the cost centers. Okay, we are not going to apply the cost centers in this transaction. Okay. Yeah. Then GST also, if you wish to, you can press the space bar, and you can make it as not applicable. Okay. So you can just cross check and you can create it simultaneously. You're going to give the name as depreciation under the group of indirect expenses. Type of ledger will be not applicable. Cost center should be no. And GST you can make it not applicable as well. So once you finish doing this much, you can save your lecture. acceptance. Okay, now we have to calculate how much 3% of 15,000. Now, I told you in the initial classes the Tally software also has an inbuilt calculator pane. So, now we are going to utilize that calculator pane in the Tally software. So, what is the key I had told you? If you don't remember, I'll repeat it again. It is Control and N together. Control N. So, what you're going to do is I hope all of you have created the depreciation ledger. Okay, so now press Control N, not M. It is Control N. Let me give you the key here in Notepad. It is Control plus N. This is the calculator page. So you get a pop-up window at the bottom. Okay, this is a calculator page. See, the moment I press Control N, I get the calculator. Okay, now here please observe carefully. Now we have to calculate 3% of 15,000. So I go back to my Tally software. Now, whatever calculations you will be doing, it will be put up in the yellow bar, not in the white, not in the blue. Okay, it will be put up in the yellow bar. So now, all of you type 15,000, shift key, star sign, 3, shift key, percentage. Don't give spaces in between. So you have put up here, type first 15,000, 15,000, shift key and press on the numbering, that is the asterisk for the star sign, multiplication sign. Again type 3, shift key, percentage. Okay. Moment you type this much, immediately press enter. So what is the value you have got for this? Can I have the answer from your side?
450.
Yes. Yes, pa. How much? How
450.
much you got? Very good. It is
450.
four. Very good. It is 450. So moment I press enter, see, I get the answer as 450. So you can take the mouse and you can come to the debit column. Type the amount as 450. Press enter. Moment you type 450, press enter. Your credit aspect is prompting. Press enter. And now select furniture. Furniture ledger is already there with us, right? So you're going to select the furniture ledger. Yeah, this is how you're going to put up the entry. Debit depreciation, credit furniture 450. I hope all of you have got this. Now press enter, you'll come to the narration. Being furniture value depreciated by 3%. Being furniture value depreciated by 3%. Enter, accept, yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, pa.
That furniture comes under what, ma'am?
Furniture comes under what? The what kind? Where do you categorize furniture? In which
Asset,
statement?
asset, ma'am.
What
Current
kind of
asset,
an
not
asset? No, no, no. Do you buy and sell furnitures in your company?
fixed
Now
asset.
it is a fixed asset.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No. Okay. If you want, I'll show the ledger. See one second. If you have not created furniture ledger, this is for you. See, yes. Please, you can capture this.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So once you finish
Yeah.
working on this, control it. Escape. In my case, I'm pressing the escape key. In your case, all spot, right? So I hope you've got the entry. Shall we pass up the entry?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, fine. Accept, yes. Now this was a depreciation case. What does the next transaction say? We have appreciated the value of land by 7%, whose value is 5 lakhs. Now the value of land is 5 lakhs. It has been appreciated, increased by 7%. Okay, so now if depreciation is an indirect expense, appreciation will become appreciation is increase. So it will be categorized under the group of indirect income. Okay, so now depreciation will be debited because it is an expense. Debit all expenses and losses. But when I talk about the appreciation, since it is an income, credit the incomes and gains. Okay, and your debit aspect should be land. It is the land on which we're calculating depreciation. Okay, so let's put up this entry in journal voucher. Yes, now debit, we don't have land in the list of ledgers, so you can create here. Go to the create option. Land obviously under the group of fixed assets, no cost centers, and space bar you can just turn down GST. This is the way you have to create the land ledger. Once you create the land ledger, press Ctrl A. Okay. Now here, now we have to calculate 5 lakhs, 7% of 5 lakhs. Yes, the same procedure. 7 lakhs of 7% of 5 lakhs. Now, if you see at the bottom, your calculator pane has become inactive. You have to activate it back, right? So, what is the shortcut key I've told you for calculator pane? It is Control N. So, again, press Control N. Your calculator pane becomes active. Control N again. Okay. So now you have to calculate 7% of 5 lakhs. So first type the amount as 5 lakhs. Shift key, the into mark, 7, shift key, percentage. So what is the value you get for this?
35,000.
Yes, very good. It is 35,000. So press enter. Yes, you get 35,000. So here you put up the appreciated value of 35,000. Yes. So again, credit, again press enter. Now we don't have the appreciation here. Let's again we have to create it. So I go to the create option, appreciation, indirect income. Okay. Once you create appreciation ledger, press Ctrl A. Sorry, yeah, made a spelling mistake. Sorry. Okay, Ctrl A. This is how you get your ledger. So being land value appreciated by 7%. So enter Accept. Yes. Hope all of you got the entry. Accept. Yes. So once we're done with the calculations, okay, we can turn off the calculator pane at the bottom. Can you see that into mark there? Just press or just click on that into mark. So this is how we can use a calculator pane and you can make the necessary calculations in Tally software. Now we go for the last entry, which says transfer of capital funds of 10,000 rupees from Sham's capital to Vinod's capital account. So there's a capital fund transfer happening from Sham's account to Vinod's account. Simple. Sham's and Vinod's capital account has to be created. I think one of them should be already there with us. And both, of course, if you see the entry, it will be treated under personal account because both are natural persons, Sham and Vinod. So one becomes the receiver, the other becomes the giver here. So Sham becomes the giver and Vinod becomes the receiver of capital funds. Okay, so it is a very easy entry which we can put up in your journal. Okay, so debit Vinod. I think both. I think we have areas. Vinod's capital. Anyone who has not created the ledger, Vinod's and Sham's capital. I think you are all of you have created it. So debit Vinod's capital, 10,000 rupees. Credit Sham. Yeah. Transfer from home to home. It has been already given there above. Enter. Accept. Yes. Accept. Yes. So have all of you successfully put up your journal vouchers on three vouchers? Do you have any doubts? Very good. So I've got pretty good responses. And this thumbs up should not be just like that. It has to be a real effort. Yeah, I assume I trust you. So please do it practically along with me. Because only when you do it, when you're having that hands-on experience, it is there when you get the complete clarity of your Tally software. Okay. So now we have completed with the journal vouchers. So we have come to the end of pure accounting vouchers, which is contra voucher, payment voucher, receipt voucher, and journal voucher. Okay, why they are called or defined as pure accounting vouchers is why, because they don't have the participation of inventory aspect in that. If you have observed, what is inventory? The stocks in trade which we buy and sell in the business. Okay, they don't have the inventory involvement in them. So they are only regarded as accounting vouchers. But if I talk about the purchase voucher, sales voucher, debit note, credit note, they are accounting cum inventory vouchers. Why? Because they are not only accounted, but they do have the inventory involvement in them. So far we have discussed with the pure accounting vouchers, and now we are going to discuss with accounting cum inventory vouchers. But before that, we have to create certain basic masters, inventory masters, which we won't going to do it now. But before that, I would like to show you something in the daybook, yeah, which might be very handy, very useful for you. Okay, so assuming that all of you have completed the entries, you can just press the escape key and you can go to the gateway of tally screen, and from there press enter on daybook. Yes. Okay, so go to the daybook. Yeah, so you find here contra payment receipt journal. So all your works are here, safely saved. Okay. Now I've told you one important point, that if we have to have a detailed view, a breakup of every entry, what is a function key I've told you? Anyone remembers that?
Alt
If I
F1.
have to, very good. So who gave me the reply for this? Yes, who is it? Who
Fiona.
told me alt? Okay, very good. Right. So it is alt F1. So if I press alt Fn and F1 together, I get a detailed breakup of my entry. Correct. Now, let's say I don't want to view all the voucher types. I only want to view the payment vouchers. I don't want to view contra voucher, receipt voucher, journal voucher. I only want to view the payment vouchers. Selective viewing. One kind of filtering is what we say. So that time I will use the function key F4. Just press F4. No Alt, no Control F4. Only F4 and see what can happen. So if you press F4, you get the list of voucher types. So Tally wants to clarify that which is a voucher type, I mean the entries pertaining to which you want to view. So I say I want to view the entries pertaining to the payment voucher. So what do? I will select the payment voucher and press enter. This is how you can filter and you can view the desired voucher type. Entries pertaining to the desired voucher type. I hope all of you have got this, right? So you can just further see now I have a list of the entries. I only want to be the journal watcher meet. So if I press F4, I go to journal and press enter like this. Okay. I hope this is clear. Now we have come to the end of the accounting vouchers. Yes. Thank you for your responses. Now we will head on to the creation of inventory masters. Before we start with inventory based, I mean accounting and come inventory vouchers. Okay, so let me go for GST. I'll be discussing later when I come to that segment. Yes. So the first inventory master which we have to create is a location, nothing but also defined as go down. Simple terms, it is a go down. Okay. Yes. So moment I talk as go down, location, immediately one answer comes. It is a place where you store, correct? Even at our homes we have a storeroom, correct, where we keep all the additionals or scrap items, whatever. which might be useful even in future. So like that, how at homes we have a storeroom. Of course, in factories we have godowns. Even companies or the entities also we have small store, yes, or big store depending upon their requirement. So godown or location is nothing but place of storage where raw materials as well as the finished goods are being kept or being stored. Okay, as well as probably the scrap items or the other items uh, which remain added from a very long time. In short, it's a place of storage. Now, Tally software, we can give the details of such godowns. Okay, irrespective of how many godowns that particular company or the entity is having, we can give the details in the Tally software. Now, here I've given one statement that by default, Tally creates one location, that is main location, can be altered but cannot be deleted. Now, how Tally has created 28 predefined groups, two predefined ledgers, okay, that is cash and profit and loss account. And what is the default cost category? What Tally software has given us? One of you could just name that. Which is a cost category which Tally has provided us, the default cost category. Yes, I don't find any responses for that. Yes, so which is the default cost category? Yes, yeah, I think I've got it. Yes, it is the primary cost category. Very good, Javeri and Julie. So primary cost category, like that. Now category, we have primary cost category, right? Now when I talk about the go down also, we have main location as a default go down. Same procedure. I can change the name. I can remove that main location name, put the put my company's go down name. I can do that, but I don't have rights to delete it. Delete it. Okay. So now the path I've given you at the bottom from Gateway of Tally, you're going to go to the Create option, and under Inventory Masters you will find Location or Go Down. Okay, and here I've given you as give the name as location 1, location 2, location 3, or that you can create 3 go downs. Otherwise, if you wish, you can also give the other name. Choice is yours, and everything is created under primary itself. Okay, so you're not going to make any changes with regard to that. So let's quickly create these go downs or locations in the Tally software. So if we go back, so what do I do is I'll go to the create option, press enter on create. The inventory masters I'm having unit, press enter. Sorry, go down. Yes. So I hope this is visible for you now. See, main location exists by default for the company. Do you want to alter the main location or create a new go down? This is what I'll give you the details that time. That main location is already there. Would like to make any changes to that and use the same, or would like to create a new one? As of now, I'll go to create a new. So all of you press enter or create a new. Yes, this is how
No,
you
can you
get the go
repeat
down.
this step?
Huh? Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat this step?
Repeat it. Okay, fine. Now, from Gateway of Tally, under Masters, you have the Create option. Press Enter on the Create option. Okay. Now, under Inventory Masters, accounting we're done. So, you come to the Inventory Masters. The last Inventory Master you have is this Go Down. Okay. So, press Enter on Go Down or Location. In certain cases, it also show location. Both are same. So, press Enter on Go Down, and you have the option of Create New. I hope you've got your doubt is clear. So press enter on create and you come to the go down creation. Okay, so you can quickly create the go downs. So I'll give it as location 1. Okay, now see, before I, what do you say, save this go down created, I would like to share with you one important point here. Now, let's say our company is having three go downs. Okay, and now all the go downs address details I need to give. I cannot just give as no, what do you say, name and then close off. So if I wish to, if I have to give the address details of my go down, where it is situated, so we can press yes F12. So if you press F12, you get the configuration screen. Press F12, you get the configuration screen, and over there, can you see, you get the fourth option, use address for go downs. Make it as yes.
And where is the configuration
Press
option now?
F12. F12, F12. Press Fn and F12 together. You get the configuration window open. Or you do one thing. If you can't press F12, can you see the go down creation towards the right hand side, your vertical button bar? Towards right hand side in your screen, last option is there, see F12 configure. Just click on that, you get the
Yeah,
configuration screen. So there the
yeah,
fourth option is there. Use address for go downs. That you activate it as yes.
yes, fine.
Okay. So moment you make it as yes, press Ctrl A to save your changes. And now you can also enable the address details of your go down, which is very, very important. Okay. So say for example,
Yeah,
I'm giving it as Jayanagar go down example. Jayanagar go down. So what do I do? Here I can give the address. Number 8, fifth main, 9th cross. Jayanagar 8 block. Back. Okay, like this in brief I've given. Like this you can put up the address details. Accept yes. Like this you can create two more go downs so that we can start with your masters. So I'll give you another 5 minutes. So you can just create these go downs. I'll put that code what that go down page so that if you are creating in case you can just look at it. So why don't you create two more go downs like that? Like this. So are you done giving the address details? Have you all created three go downs? So you just take a 5 minutes break and then resume the session. Probably three minutes and resume the session. Okay. Yes, Travel.
When we enter things into different voucher types, is it to make it easier to identify, or is there like any different purpose to it?
Like we use contra payment, receipt journal, and all that
Yeah,
you're asking.
yeah. Like, is
Of
there
course, yeah.
a
Every
easy
yes. See now, you imagine now what you're doing. Let me give you a classic example. Now, let's say now you have uh, uh, classes for different subjects. I mean, different subjects. Now, do you maintain a single book for all your subjects, or do you maintain separate books for all your subjects?
separate books?
Yes, obviously, right? So we can't load one book with all the subjects. It'll there be an information overload, lot of confusions, irritations, there is no clarity. So, in the same way, if I talk about the in accounting terms, now journal is an original day book, a single book where it records, you know, uh, all the entries, whichever vouchers we pass, we find them in the day book. Now, the day book is a single book. Now, now what happens is now if I have to if I want those entries pertaining to cash payments and cash receipts, again I cannot look through the one single book which is the day book. I need to have a clarity that yes, in my contra voucher I have put up these entries and all the entries will put up in the contra voucher. If I have to record the payment, I mean, if I have to view the payment entries, then I'll go for the payment voucher. Again, receipt based, I'll go to the receipt. So it will be segmented, sector wise. I can get the clarity here. So if I talk about contra, it's only cash and bank based. Any journal entries are there, I'll put up in the contra voucher. Suppose if I have to record the payment in relation to business expenses, obviously I go to the payment voucher. Receipt. So every voucher has a purpose. So without any purpose, we don't find them in the tally software. And suppose if I try to enter all the entries in one single voucher, it will have an adverse effect against it. So it just gives you a clarity that every voucher has one purpose. Okay, so that's why I gave the example of your subjects. I hope it's clear, Aruna.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. So let me come back. So I hope all of you have created the uh, go downs here. Yes. So I press Control A and I'll go back. Now, what is the next inventory master? Which is the next one we will discuss now? The next one is units of measure. A very interesting concept. What is this units of measure? Simple. Now, when we are purchasing rice, we measure them in form of kgs. Any liquid item, that could be oil, water, juice, it is in liters. In case of a solid item, it will be in numbers, pieces. Suppose if it is in terms of boxes, of course boxes. So like that, without assigning the unit, we cannot even imagine of purchasing and selling the stock items. So stock items are purchased and sold on the basis of quantity. The quantity in turn is measured by units, and such goods are quantified using these units of measurement. So we have two types. One, we have simple unit of measure. Second, we have this compound units of measure. Simple is, in simple terms, if I have to define, when we make use of only one unit of measure, it is simple unit. Only one. That is numbers, or kilograms, or grams, dozens, liters. Only one we are going to use. But what about compound units of measure? When we use more than one, multiple units of measure, we go for a compound unit of measure. Example like one box of 12 pieces. I'll give a classic example. You take a packet of chocolates, packet of cookies, right? So one box will contain around five pieces of cookies, like that. One chocolate packet will comprise of 75 to 80 small chocolates, right? So one box of 12 pieces. So here we are using two units of measurement. And most important is the bottom line. By default, Tally will not create any units. It can't even create. Why? Because there is no assumption that what is the business we are into. Are we into the trading of goods or providing services? Now, if I talk about services, there is no question of quantification of units like this. It will be different. So, so Tally will not create any kind of units of measure. It is we as a user, as an accountant, pertaining to my business requirement, I'm going to create the units of measure. If I don't require, I'm not going to do it. So it all depends upon my business need. So this is in short a brief explanation about the units of measure. Okay, so here how do we create it? I have given you the format for this. Yes, this is a simple format I've given. As I've told you, there are two categories. One is simple. Second, we have is this compound units of measure. So if I talk about simple, first before assigning, I mean, or before pairing, because compound is having multiple units, right? But the step one is first we have to create the units of measure individually by going for simple unit. After creating the simple units of measure, it is then we can go for compound units of measure. We cannot create first compound and then simple. First, we have to create simple and then we have to go for compound units of measure. So, suppose if I'm creating for kgs, it will be type simple. Symbol is kilogram, kg. Formal name is in detail. I have given the abbreviation. And what is this number of decimal places? We are given as zero. Suppose, let's say, for example, if it is like 45 point, let's say 96. So we round it off, right? So after decimal, after how many points you want to round off? After two places or one place or after three places, that we have to give in this number of decimal places, so that it will automatically round off to the next number. Fine if it is more than, I mean, if it is fine or above. Okay, so once we complete all these details to be put up, then we save the changes. Okay, so this is a format I've given you how to create a simple unit of measure. Okay, Yes, this is the table which you have to finish in the unit of measure creation window. See, I've given here symbol if you give kg, the formal name is kilogram. Symbol if it is gm, formal name is gram. Symbol LTR, formal name is liter. Yes, and when it comes to packet, it is formal name is packet. Symbol again NOS numbers, formal name. Then symbol again DOZ, formal name is dozen, and symbol MLS, formal name is milliliters. Okay, like this. So this you have to create in the Tally software. So let's start. I hope all of you are ready for the same. Then we can go for creation of compound units of measurement. Okay. So all of you come back to the gateway of Tally and go to the create option. Press enter on the create option. Now under inventory masters, can you see before go down you have unit here. Yes, before go down you have unit. I have displayed it in my screen. You can just cross check. Yes, so press enter on that. Yes. So this is how you come to the unit creation window. So type is simple. And what is a symbol? The first one we're going to go for kilogram. So simple, I'll give it as kg, and formal name is kilogram. Unit quantity code. UQC is nothing but it is one of the features in the Tally software where again you quantify the unit. Nothing. What you have given above, simple kg and formula in kilogram, the same one you have to select it in the list of UQCs. Suppose if you are not getting this UQC feature in your unit creation window, simple, you're going to press F12 configure. If you press F12 configure, there you have the second feature only. Use unit quantity code, UQC in short. If you make it as a yes, press control. And now you get that feature, and here you see just how you used to select the groups when you were creating the ledgers the same way. Just type kg, it will come kilograms, and you get number of decimal places. You can do it as it's not an issue. Accept yes. So I've just left the screen for you. You can just cross check. Like this, you have to create all the units of measure. So why don't you start creating it? Excuse me. Okay. So now control A. In the same way, suppose if I have to create programs, here also the same. GS. Next, for the liter. Now, liter in Tally, I mean the UQC, you don't have only liter, you have kiloliter. So you don't have liter here, rather you have, yeah, see if you can observe, you have two here. One is liter and one is kiloliter. Kiloliter and liter. So what you do is you can select here liters. Please to have a clarity here, go to liters, don't go to kiloliters. Next is you have pieces. Next is packet. Packs. Now packet will not have packet, it will be having pack, PAC, packs. Next is dozen, DOZ. Next is numbers. Same thing, NOS, accent. Next. I think milliliters, small m, big caps lock L, again S. So it has to be milliliters. MLT, milliliters. So this has a slight difference in the UQC and the symbol, okay? But the application is same. Milliliter. Liter, accent. So we have done all the units of measure here. Yes. So I just put up in case if you have missed out, we can finish it off. So have you completed the units of measurement? Creating the simple units of measure. Will you show us the list? Yeah, put up the list, Varsha. Yes. Yes. Varsha, have you finished it or you still want the list to be put up?
Ma'am,
Varsha
done,
creates.
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we can proceed with the creation of compound units of measure. Okay. So let's go ahead. So once you're done, I've told you where you can view them or where you can correct them also. View and correction both. You can go to the alter option, and go to unit. So in case if you have made any mistake, you had to make corrections, you can do it here. You can just select it and do the necessary corrections. That's why I've told you in the beginning that alteration and deletion of masters is the same path. There are no changes in that. Okay. Now, when we go to the compound units of measure, yes. Why I'm giving you the path for this is why because by default we view the simple unit of measure. So how do we get the compound? When we press the backspace, there you get the list whether you want it simple or you want to create a compound unit of measure. That's why I've given that path here for this. So here I'm given kgs, liters, and dozens. I have fixed creation common of units of measure only for these three in these three cases. Why? Because I cannot go for packet or boxes because they can differ depending upon the product. Now, if I say one packet of pens means it can be 5 pens. Suppose if I go for one packet of chocolates, it could be 75 to 80 pieces of small chocolates, one packet of biscuits. So the quantity can vary depending upon the product. But when I talk about the kgs, liters, and dozens, they are fixed. 1 kg is always 1000 grams, 1 liter, 1000 milliliters, 1 dozen constantly of 12 numbers. Okay, so we create these three components of measure. So I go to the create option. Again, I go to the unit, backspace. I go to the compound. So dozen of 12 numbers like this. I'll freeze it so you can just look upon and you can just do it. First, press the backspace, select compound, and then you choose anything. Now here I've chosen dozen. Dozen of how many numbers? 12, and second unit should be selected as numbers. I hope you've got it. Accept yes. Next is kg, kg of 1000 grams. Accept yes. Next, uh, liter, liter of 1000 milliliters. MLS. Accept yes. So I'll put up a list for you in case if you have not got it. If you're still creating, you can just view the list here. I hope all of you have created the units of measure. Yes. Are you done? So once you created, yes, so we have done with the two inventory masters. Okay, one is creation of go downs and second is creation of units of measure. Now the next thing, actually it is a hierarchy. Okay, we have stock category, stock group and stock item. But right now, I don't want to discuss each and every segment. Once I reach the last level, that is the stock item, then I'll be able to explain you with a good example. So as of now, we will just see to that how can we create these stock categories and stock groups. Okay, so you can go along with me. It is just a classification, right? Yes. So basically, the stock category is nothing but it offers a parallel classification of the stock items. Classification is done based on similarity in behavior. Now, how we used to all do the creation of ledgers and respective groups, similar like that. For example, if I have to create like home appliances, electronic gadgets. Now I'll give you, okay, fine, in this stage only I'll give you an example. Now if you go to Chroma, If you go to Lance Digital, if you go to a couple of electronic showrooms like Chroma, Lance Digital, or if you go to Gilead, wherever you go, right? Now, suppose if I have to, for my home, I want to purchase a new washing machine. So usually, how they categorize washing machines? Now, suppose if you go to Big Bazaar or more, it will be like groceries, dairy products. Then you have what do you say, cooking oils. Like that, you have segments, correct? Now, in the same way, what is the sector define? If I have to purchase a, if I have to look for the washing machines, yes, what would be your answer for this thing? Answer is there. I mean, I have given you. Suppose if I have to purchase an iron box, a refrigerator, yes, they'll be categorized as home appliances. Yes, yes or no? So, like that, we have the segmentation or sector wise where we can find these products. So, that is how we classify the products based on similarity in behavior. You will gradually know once I come to the last step. This is just one small example I gave you. Right now, nothing to worry. You just create these cost categories very quickly. Okay. So I'll accept all the compound bits. So let me press the escape key. And here only you have the stock category. If you want, you can go back to the gateway of Tally and come back, select the create option. And if you can find here under inventory masters, you have stock category. So you can press enter on stock category. And here I have given you a list. Yes, you can create these four stock categories, that is electronic devices, home appliances, stationery, and you have this is fuel. Okay, so you can create these four stock categories quickly in your tally screen. So I'll go back to my tally screen here. Okay, electronic devices. Just give the name, and as I've told you, everything is created under primary itself, like this. Next is stationery. Next is home appliances. Accept yes. Next is so I'll put up the categories here. So if you're not done, you can complete the creation of these stock categories. If you want, I'll press enter and we'll show the format again. In the same format only, you have to create the remaining three. I hope all of you have done till here. Have you all of you have you created the stock categories? Okay, fine. So I hope there is no issue till this stage. So we have to start with the stock groups and then stock items. Obviously, I not told you to create the stock groups because it will be very it will extend for some more time. Okay, so till now I assume that you don't have any doubts. In case if you have, you can unmute yourself and you can raise your doubt. If not, then we can close the session. Yes, hope all of you are clear. So then we come to the end of the session, and tomorrow, at the same time, 6:30 to 8, we are going to start off with the creation of the stock groups. Then later on, I'll be discussing with the concept of GST, and then I'll be discussing with the stock item creation. Okay, so that's how we'll take you through, and then we will be beginning with the accounting cum inventory based modules. So that will be the flow actually. Okay, so okay, we come to the end of the today's session. And thank you all for being a part of it. So see you up in the next session.